I will read to you the Declaration of Independence of Cyberspace by John Perry Barlow, a very insightful document that he wrote before his death. Incredible for people that want sovereignty and that believe in Bitcoin and believe in cryptocurrency as a new way for governance of the future. Right after this. Hello everybody and welcome to the YouTube channel of the Tadros brothers. Today we'll be reading the Declaration of Independence of Cyberspace by John Perry Barlow. Hope you guys enjoy this amazing text written in 1996, Davos, Switzerland by John Perry Barlow. He had lots of insight into, I think, the future. So here it goes. A Declaration of Independence of Cyberspace. Governments of the industrial world, you wary giants of flesh and steel. I come from cyberspace, the new home of mind. On behalf of the future, I ask you of the past to leave us alone. You are not welcome among us. You have no sovereignty where we gather. We have not elected governments, nor are we likely to have one. So I address you with no greater authority than that with which liberty itself always speaks. I declare the global social space where we are building to be naturally independent of the tyrannies you go to impose on us. You have no moral right to rule, or nor do you possess any methods of enforcement. We have true reason to fear. Governments derive their powers from the consent of the governed. You have neither solicited nor received ours. We do not invite you. You don't know us, nor do you know our world. Cyberspace does not lie within your borders. Do not think that you can build it as though it were a public construction project. You cannot. It is an act of nature, and it grows itself through our collective actions. You have not engaged in our great gathering conversation, nor did you create wealth of our marketplaces. You do not know our culture, our ethics, or the unwritten codes that already provide our society with more order than could be obtained by any of your impositions. You claim there are problems among us that you need to solve. You use this claim as an excuse to invade our precincts. Many of these problems don't exist. Where there are real conflicts, where there are wrongs, we will identify them and address them by our means. We are forming our own social contract. This governance will arise according to conditions of our world, not yours. Our world is different. Cyberspace consists of transactions, relationships, and thought itself arrayed like a standing wave in the web of our communications. Ours is a world that is both everywhere and nowhere, but it is not where our bodies live. We are creating a world that all may enter without privilege or prejudice accorded by race, economic power, military force, or station of birth. We are creating a world where anyone, anywhere may express his or her beliefs, no matter how singular, without fear of being coerced into silence of conformity. Your legal concepts of property, expression, identity, movement, or context do not apply to us. They are all based on matter, and there is nowhere matter here. Our identities have no bodies, so unlike you, we cannot obtain order by physical coercion. We believe that from ethics, enlightened self-interest, and commonwealth, our governance will emerge. Our identities may be distributed across many of our jurisdictions. The only law that our constituent cultures would generally recognize is the golden rule. We hope we will be able to build our particular solutions on that basis, but we cannot accept the solutions you are attempting to impose on us. In the US, you have today created a law, Telecommunications Reform Act, which repudiates our Constitution and insults the dreams of Jefferson, Washington, Madison, de Tocqueville. These dreams must be born again, anew within us. You are terrified of our own children, since they are natives in a world where you will always be immigrants. Because you fear them, you entrust your bureaucracies with the parental responsibilities you are too cowardly to confront yourselves. In our world, all the sentiment and expressions of humanity, from the debasing to the angelic, are parts of a seamless whole, the global conversation of bits. We cannot separate. The air that chokes from the air upon wings beat. Nice. In China, Germany, France, Russia, Singapore, Italy, US, you are trying to ward off the virus of liberty by erecting guard posts at the frontiers of cyberspace. These may keep out the contagion for a small time, but they will not work in a world that will soon be blanketed in bit-bearing media. Your increasingly obsolete information industries would perpetuate themselves by proposing laws in America and elsewhere that claim to own speech itself throughout the world. These laws would declare ideas to be another industrial product, no more noble than the pig iron. In our world, whatever the human mind may create can be reproduced and distributed infinitely at no cost. The global conveyance of thought no longer requires your factories to accomplish. Your increasingly hostile and colonial measures place us in the same position as those previous lovers of freedom and self-determination who had to reject the authorities of distant, uniform powers. We must declare our virtual selves immune to your sovereignty even as we continue to consent to your rule over our bodies. We will spread ourselves across the planet so that no one can arrest our thoughts. We will create, may it be more humane, fair than the world your governments have made before us. Davos, Switzerland, February 8th, 1996. John Perry Barlow. Fantastic, the Declaration of Cyberspace. Thank you.